Hello again from Mission Alive, from the Mission Office. I do hope that these little sessions are interesting to you. It's a bit hard to tell what is of interest to people, but we keep trying to vary the topics and some of the stories. This morning I would like to tell you a couple of stories I've been reflecting on. I started with the martyrs, Peter Tarot, and talked a bit about how in some ways we are all martyrs if we are committed, we are believing, if we are committed to helping people, caring for people, and out of love and out of the values and the beliefs that we hold. When I was in Papua New Guinea in a bush parish, a lot of health facilities were rather lacking, and the hospital was some distance away. And I remember on many a night being woken up with a request to take someone to hospital for some reason or other. Often one was snake bites, black snakes or death adders or what out in the bush, particularly people who are out at night hunting or for different reasons, or if they've been in the garden. So I would get out of bed, get the truck out, and away we'd go. It might be half an hour, an hour's drive to the hospital. I remember one night particularly, I was really asleep. And I woke up, and as you do when you wake up, you're really not quite awake. But anyway, I was in the truck, and all the way down the hospital, it's over an hour's drive. It's 55 kilometres. I still, in one sense, my head had not woken up. And I sat in the hospital for about an hour or so while the nurses took this snakebite case in to check things out. And then they said, "Oh, Father, you can go home now, everything's all right." So all the way back home, I had still not really woken up. And I got back home and just dropped straight on the bed and went off to sleep again. And next morning, I did remember it, but not too much about it. But they're the things that we sort of do. That might be a bit dramatic. But that's an example of going out of my way to help somebody because they needed help. Other stories like that was women about to give birth. And I've had several babies born on the back of the truck, which they do. I'd go down to the village and pick them up, and they'd all get on, the woman and the midwife and whoever else, maybe the husband, and away we would go. And I remember one day too, we were driving along, and I think it must have been the husband, he called out from the back of the truck, "Don't worry, Father, you can slow down, the baby's been born." I said, "Well, okay, well, should I go back or stop?" No, keep going, keep going. And then after a little while, he says, "Father, have you got a knife?" Obviously a knife to cut the umbilical cord. I said, "No, I haven't." And after a little while again was, "It's all right, Father, we found a knife." A knife is in somebody's billum. So whatever about all the health restrictions and safety measures and hygiene and all that sort of stuff, the baby was born, the mother was fine, the baby was fine. But a number of occasions like that where we used to go out of our way to help people. And in all that time, not once did anybody trick me to use that as an excuse to get somewhere. It was always a genuine case. And they would come to me, not so much as a last resort, but come to me knowing that I would do it a little bit reluctantly, and they'd be asking. And that was my policy. I never refused a health run like that to the hospital. So all this is how do we care for people? How do we go out of our way to care for people? This is part of our mission as church, part of our mission as Christian people. And in the situation where we have it present, we see this. And it's been often on the news and the media, all the health workers, the doctors and nurses and others who put themselves on the front line of this sickness to help people, to serve people. In the same way, teachers doing the best they can for the kids. The teachers and the kids had to transition from classroom to online, back to classroom, back out to online. Puts a tremendous amount of stress on people, especially teachers and the children. Parents also, families, doing marvellous things for each other, for others, neighbours. So it goes on, a long list of things that we need to recognise that in many ways, we all use the word hero, which is a bit bandied around, but in a sense we can be heroes, we can be martyrs, we can just, the human thing, the Christian thing of going out of our way to help people, of going that extra mile, of working a bit harder, of putting ourselves out of our usual routine and our way of life to help others. So this is all part of mission. You don't have to be up in the bush in Papua New Guinea driving a truck to help people. You can do that here next door with your family, in your workplace. So have a happy day on mission.